Hello everyone, this is Dr. Jaden. Welcome to the fourth live. Today is 2022 Rainwater Tiger year, and March, the Greywater with Rabbit month. And today is the first pillar day, Jawood with Rat in the United States. It's 7 p.m. right now, the Jawood Earth, the dog, for the hour. Okay, today I will not finish, but we will continue the year of 2022 from June, the being fire horse energy, to whatever we can cover. And I will discuss a little bit about the 10 spirits. You guys can ask any question, anytime. This is mostly Q&A based live stream. Just don't hesitate to ask any question. I'll start from the 10 spirit today. Any question or any idea for today? Okay, I'll start with the 10 spirit for the beginning. Because many people ask me about the questions, I talk a lot of combinational aspects, the seasonal combination or the triple combination, and certain energy will be really dominant. Because of that dominant energy, certain element become really smaller. I think many people or some people are worried about that. If some elements or one element get really decreased too much, what will happen? Or if certain dominant energy become really larger, what does it mean like that? So without understanding about 10 spirit, we cannot discuss anything. We can only discuss about 5 elements. That's it. Of course, we can discuss a lot of things with only 5 elements, but with 10 spirit, our analysis and our discussion will be much more deeper. No idea yet. I've been watching all your videos. I'll have questions later as you go through your session. Okay. Thank you. Anytime. I think everyone already know about the generating cycle or the controlling cycle like this. I use the term generate, the generating, and some people use produce, like producing cycle. Some people use support. Some people use help or other term. But I use generate. No matter what kind of term you guys use, it doesn't matter. Just one thing is it is helping or supporting or generating, producing next element. And that is really related with input and output relationship. Yeah, what I mean is if water generates wood, if water produces wood, the water become the input of the wood, and fire, if wood generate fire, if wood support the fire become the output of the wood. It can be applied to every element. So wood is input of the fire is input of the earth is the input of the metal is the input of water. And output, same, fire is output of the wood, earth is output of the fire, metal's output of the earth, water's output of the metal, and wood is output of the water. That's the generating cycle. And this is the basic principle for the beginning, the 10 spirit. And the controlling cycle is another one. It's more about control or controlled by. What wood controls, like I start this like lightning arrow, and then there's a thicker side that is the element that controls, and the thinner side is the element that is controlled by other element. So control is mostly related with the wealth spirit in 10 spirit. Controlled is mostly about official spirit. So if we talk about wood, the earth will be the wealth spirit because wood controls the earth. And if we think the opposite side, the wood become an official spirit to the earth, like vice versa. One is wealth and the other is official. And that applies to every element as well. Knowing those five generating cycle and 5 controlling cycle is all about the 10 spirits. Like 10 spirit is nothing but just different term we want to name it. Like we don't want to name like the element that controls this element element that is controlled by that element, or element that support this element. That is too long, so like we call it like mother, or we call it child, or wealth, or official. That is symbolizing this sentence that certain element generating certain elements, or certain elements control certain elements. If we consider the daily master is wood, the jia wood, I draw the jia wood here. And I usually put daily master on the center and just figure out the 5 different kinds of 10 spirit. Actually, it is 10 spirit, but I like to minimize the concept. I like to minimize the concept of definition. So I just like to just use 5. It's literally 5 spirits that we want to focus on. So the same element as wood is friendship. The output that daily master generates will be child, and what daily master controls will be wealth spirit. And the element that controls daily master, or the daily master is controlled by this element, and that is official spirit. And the element that generates the daily master will be the mother spirit. And if you can you guys write down what is your daily master on the chat room? Then I will focus more on those daily masters first, more than other element. Good evening, Renchen. You must be rainwater, right? So I'll just put many pictures here. First, think about the friendship spirit, that is myself. So whatever daily master's element is, the friendship spirit is the same element as daily master. Wood, food, fire, fire, earth, earth, metal, metal, and water, water. There's metal, there's earth, there is water, earth, metal, water for now. That's the friendship spirit. If we draw the daily master at the center, friendship spirit is the same element as daily master. So the purple circle would be the friendship spirit, the same element as daily master. And the mother spirit is the element that generates the daily master, the element that produces the daily master. If daily master is wood, mother spirit will be water. If for fire daily master, wood is the mother. For earth, fire is mother. For metal, earth is mother. For water, metal is mother. For Vincent, earth will be the mother spirit. Metal will be the friendship spirit. And for Renchen, metal will be the mother spirit. And water itself is the friendship spirit. It's really hard for me to name 10 spirit in English. It's already long. For earth, daily master as 7 in a bottle. 7 in a bottle. Yeah, for earth daily master, yeah, fire will be the mother spirit for you. And earth itself is the friendship spirit. So this is the relation of the image of the mother spirit. For wood, the water is mother. For fire, wood is mother. For earth, fire is mother. For metal, earth is mother. Am I saying right? For water, metal is mother. And child spirit is the other one. It is output that daily master produces, that daily master generates. So for wood, fire is the child. For fire, earth is child. For earth, metal is child. For metal, water is child. For water, wood is child. So that's the image. And you can save this image and then just look at the image anytime later. So child is output. Seems like this kind of arrangement is a little more confusing. Yeah, I just try to make it for fun. And wealth spirit and official spirit is the controlling relation. If daily master controls certain element, that element would be the wealth spirit. So for wood, earth is wealth. For fire, water is wealth. For earth, this is totally wrong. For earth, water is the wealth spirit, and for fire, metal will be the wealth spirit. And for metal, the wood become the wealth spirit, and for water, fire is the wealth. So this relation. And some people remember the controlling cycle as like if generating cycle goes two step, like if generate, that will be the controlling cycle. That is one way to remember this. So fire, metal, am I right? For earth is water, for metal is wood. Some call them resources star. It's the same meaning, I assume. Yeah, everybody use different terminology, different translation. Resources star. Some people call it as a 10 gods. I call it as a 10 spirit. It's all different. I understand metal controls wood. Is yin controlling yin less effective than yin controlling yang? For example, there are 4 yin metals in my batsa and 1 yin wood. Would my wealth be less because it's yin and not yang? What's more powerful in this case? Oh, that's kind of next level we want to try. That is the more proper question about the 10 spirits. Yeah, if we just talk about 5, we really don't differentiate yin or yang. But if we differentiate yin or yang, that's more like a 10 spirit. I'll explain more later. But yin versus yin and yin versus yang means just a little bit different. In classic, the yin versus yang, if we in metal look at the yang wood, there is more like the wealth spirit that you consider as really precious one, like you want to save more. That if yin versus yang is always like kind of normal pathway, like you start working and earning money like step by step, and then you don't really want to do some kind of gambling or put your money in the stock. That kind of the money from the bank and the work day by day. That is more considered as yin versus yang when you look at the yang aspect. So that is yin metal. Since you are yin, I will just make an example of yin. This relation is applied to every daily master. I'll just put minus plus. In daily master, look at the yang wealth spirit. That is more like the money from the bank or work every day. It is called as like correct wealth. And the other one, if somebody look at yin to yin or yang to yang, that is, I don't like this translation. People say incorrect wealth or indirect wealth. The translation is not very important. Or direct wealth. It's like money from gambling or stock. Work less and earn more, kind of. Like one time big money coming in. That is more like yin versus yin or yang to yang as well. And that's the next step we will learn. But now we just want to know the kinds of 10 spirit first. We'll cover it later, okay? And the official spirit is the opposite of the wealth. If the element controls the daily master, that is official. So for wood, metal is official. For fire, water is official. For earth, wood is official. For metal, fire is official. For water, the earth is official. So it's the other one, official spirit. Can you implement a little in relationship to the disease matter? What do you mean? I use this as a finding the disease pattern. Do you mean? Okay, Vincent, you're welcome. Yeah, we can put the organs for each element, and we can find the disease pattern as well. If like official spirit is the mostly used for disease pattern, the official spirit or wealth, it's the same. The controlling aspect influence more in disease pattern because it controls literally. So when controlling, like official spirit is, when official spirit is this big, wood gets suppressed, right? So wood organs will be a little bit suppressed by the metal. So in this case, we will learn this one later, but like wood organ is liver. and gallbladder. Any kind of wood organs will be affected by the metal organ, which is affected by the official spirit. The controlling cycle is the first one we want to look at. And also the input output, we can do that. Like if the fire is like this big, I draw too big. Also, wood organ could be affected by this child spirit. It's a liver and gallbladder. We'll say just GB as a gallbladder. And in this case, we can consider this wood organ has too much output, too much draining, like because wood supports fire, right? So the liver or gallbladder or any kind of wood organ or wood system will be drained too much. Or we can just apply directly for yin or yang, or the temperature, like fire, too much fire. In Oriental medicine, in herbal theory and the acupuncture, we call it as a wood yang rising or wood yang excess, because fire is yang. And the input, the mother source will be the water, and that is more yin aspect because water is in. Okay, I go too much to the other world. So anyway, we can figure out that. I want to share with you will be more. Let's start with the earth maybe. If we consider the daily master is earth, the earth itself will be the friendship spirit, and these two will be input and output. Mother as an input will be the fire, and output that daily master generate. The metal will be the child as output, and there are two aspects that daily master controls or controlled by. And what daily master controls will be the wealth. What daily master is controlled by will be the wood as an official spirit. And that one is applied to metal daily master as well. Can you see the different arrangement by the daily master's element? And this is for water. So if you can just memorize or try to just write down or take a picture for future reference. You don't need to really like memorize right now. I will repeat and repeat every time. And for fire, same element with friendship, and then input output and controlling cycle, and wood as well. So Quartz, you said the yin daily master is excessive and missing wood and water. For now, we will talk about if daily master is earth and then the earth energy is excessive, like that. Just let's start with friendship spirit is dominant. I don't know the missing means weakness, but the missing element is possibly weaker. You can say just the wealth spirit as water and official spirit as wood are missing or weak. Just be familiar with those terms. And the two control aspects of daily master are both missing. There should be some meanings of that. But what I want to say today about this 10 spirit is we can divide just two sides. Like if we consider someone's daily master is metal, I go here and there, right? Like I go sometimes earth daily master, sometimes metal daily master. That's my purpose, to make you guys confused. We said the mother spirit that generates the metal is the input, right? And if we just think just generating cycle, it is the order of generating cycle, like that. Fire generates earth, and earth generates metal, metal generates water, water generates wood. So we can say this fire, the official spirit, we can call it as an official spirit because that controls the daily master, but it is kind of input source of the input. It is input of the earth, right? Input of the mother, or we can say mother of mother. So I will consider this realm is kind of input realm because it is input, and official spirit is also input of the input. So it's like in the input realm. What comes to me, what comes to myself, what comes to the daily master, that is kind of input realm. Same knowledge, same analogy. The friendship spirit generates what friendship generates. that element is called child spirit as an output. But if we consider this wealth as an like generating cycle, it is also output of the output, right? Child of child. So I will consider this realm as an output realm, okay? So we can divide those two sides as an input and output. Like official and mother they tend to be more like an input realm, and child spirit and wealth would be the output. Can we do this one again for the water? Like if we divide these two, the earth and metal as an official and mother, those are input, and the wood and fire as child and wealth, that is more output. So that's the difference. Like if you want to figure out what element is dominant in your chart, firstly, just start figuring out, is that an input side or output realm side? For example, if daily master is water, and let's assume this person's child and wealth, the wood and fire is a little bit more dominant, and official and mother is relatively smaller, we can start thinking, we can start considering, oh, this person might be more output relevant person, output, more strong output chart. We can consider like that. But what that means is output world is the element or the spirits that is from the friendship element, that is from myself. I describe the child spirit as a creativity or any kind of action, any kind of talking, any kind of behavior that I do, that daily master does. That is more like output. And then the result of output, result of the money-making action or behavior or any kind of creativity from the daily master as a myself will be the wealth. That is the kind of the goal or desire that daily master want to get. And that is also outcome of the output. That is both output realm, output of output, or outcome of output. If for water daily master, if wood or fire are bigger, this person's dominant energy is more like in the output world. And then input world is kind of less than output. And then input is usually considered as study or mother. And those output world are usually considered as money or money making. So those output is more the activity outside, socializing or exactly literally money making money. And input is more like study and learning in the school or from mother, any kind. And this official spirit is usually interpreted as being in certain organization, like school, work, any kind of territory that is controlling myself. I cannot really speak out in the work situation. In school, there is a rule, so I have to follow. That is more like official spirit. And then those organization is creating the mother spirit as a study, or if you follow some kind of rules very well, like you will be loved relatively. Or if you really want to break the rule, those generating cycle is not really happening. So if you follow the rule, those generating cycle is happening. So that's the order. If your input world comes to you, that is more like a study time. That is more like a time for studying, time for learning, time for, don't want to say hiding, but it's kind of inner cultivation time for you guys. And if output realm is activated or developed, or if output Dian or yearly energy is coming, that is more like time for making money, time for go out, time for use your creativity to make some results. So those two realms are quite opposite. I'm kind of making this first section because many people are worrying about that. Like if my fire is too big, and fire controls metal, right? fire controls metal and metal become really smaller. So what should I do? Is my metal in danger? If you directly think about the controlling cycle, that makes sense. Like your mother is in danger. Like I can, some people who read the chart use that analogy to say your wife is in danger like that. Oh, your mother is in danger for based on this controlling cycle. But my opinion for this, if the metal is this small because of the too much fire as a dominant energy, it's the time for making money, and then it is not the time for studying right now. And if the other one, like if metal is like that big and fire gets smaller, that means more about the time for being in a school, time for learning something, time for studying, time for being with your mom, being with your teacher. Then naturally the wood energy will be smaller because metal controls wood, right? If metal is too big, wood gets smaller relatively. So that is the difference between being in a school and then go outside and then making money. Like it's really hard to learn something, cultivate yourself, taking the exam, and at the same time running your business. That is kind of a really hard thing. Some people can do if those two are really balanced. But for most of people in school time, when you guys are student, you guys are not kind of less making money. And if you run a business and then start making money, you study and learn less from the school. So that is the timing of our life. And certain time, there is a mother spirit comes to me, and then that is the time for studying, literally. And then if there is a wealth spirit, we can say the wealth as a money, it's a time for focusing on the money making or the making the result. And then the input realm become really less. So that is the time for going outside and then do something for the result, not just learning in the school or at home. So it's a difference of timing. So the best thing is mother spirit comes in the student time. That is the best. Mother spirit comes when we are younger, and child spirit or wealth spirit come to us like after 30th or 40 something. And that is kind of the order the people usually consider the age difference for studying or working. So that's the ideal timing. But for some people, for younger age, child spirit and wealth spirit gets bigger and then ignore the studying. And later, like after 40 years, suddenly mother spirit comes very strongly and then go to school like after 40. Go to university and graduate school after 50. That's also possible. Those timings are different. It's not about certain people, certain person are in danger or certain, yeah. What about friendship when the friendship spirit is weakened and the official spirit is very strong? That is one question. What is your daily master? SC. I'll just use since I already made this one. So if friendship spirit gets really smaller and official spirit really, I'm just exaggerating. And our personality is also structured by these 5 elements in the field of Batsa. Just forgot about this romantic relations, husband, mother-in-law, something like that. And official spirit is about the law, I said, legal thing, any kind of organization. So it is controlled aspect, controlled by something, controlled by school, controlled by work, controlled by the law, controlled by any kind of the principle you are set up. And friendship spirit is myself, is I would say my ego, or it's the sense of being myself, sense of being myself. I'll just use the example of that. If friendship is really strong, that person is usually a very strong person, very strict, strong person, doesn't listen to other people. Idealism, or maybe idealism, or could be narcissism, or It's more like mother spirit. But if friendship spirit is really weak, those person is usually controlled by other other element. Like for your question, if official spirit is really dominant, those wood as a daily master is controlled by the official spirit, which means you have to follow some kind of rule. You have to follow the laws or principle. So your personality might be like that. You have to follow the rules. You have to like make a plans to do that. You have to you have your principle to follow, and you are controlled by that. It could be the laws or rules or principles could be set up by other people, or your mother, or your partner, or your boss. Then if friendship spirit is really small, kind of this person tends to just follow other people's idea, listen to other people, because for this person that official spirit is too important, feeling like that's too important. The rules are important, principles are important, and I'm not saying that is right or wrong. That is just the image of this person. And if the other way, if friendship spirit is this big and official become really small, else might be small as well. So the official spirit is really smaller now, and friendship is really bigger. It becomes a dominant energy, and this person usually don't follow the rules. That's kind of exaggerating explanation, but usually the rules or principles are not a matter for this person. Who want to follow the official spirit tend to become a worker in the government, some kind of the jobs that use the organization's power, like military surgery or policeman. For policemen, the rules or laws are really important, right? They are controlled by that rules and principle. They don't. It's kind of hard to imagine the policeman breaks the rules. Some people do, but yeah, for them the rules are really important. So we call it as a controlled by the official spirit. It is like the image of that elemental picture. Mother energy is like cocoon. Mother spirit is not like a cocoon. Mother spirit, this is like perfect example that I explained. Mother spirit is not like a cocoon. Cocoon is more related with the official spirit, the territorial stuff that protects myself. It is controlling. We call it as a controlling cycle. Official spirit controls myself as a friendship spirit. When you are in the school kind of protects you. When you guys in certain country, the country's law, country's rule, that immigrant rule is kind of protecting yourself as the citizen. When you go to army, that army's kind of territory is protecting you. That is like a cocoon. So someone who is official spirit dominant, those people are kind of protective. It's like cocoon, yeah. And then the mother spirit is, I will say, in the cocoon, all the nutrient substances are the mother spirit that daily master can take. But you are right. The input realm, the input world as an official spirit and mother spirit, those are kind of input realm. That is kind of cocoon side. And output, the child spirit and wealth, that is more like being a butterfly. So you're right. Thank you. No problem. Sort of give and take. Yeah, give and take and planning and harvesting. That is all about the input and output. And for me, that is really important to figure out. Like the person who has the input more or output more, it is also interpreted as selfish, or what is the different opposite side of selfish? Selfless. Like output, the children and wealth spirit is more like giving to other people, and even though wealth spirit is desire, it's more coming from myself. And official and mother that is coming to myself is more like selfishness, is more studying and growing eating, that kind of meaning. Why does wealth produce official? That's really hard question. Usually, if we consider this cycle as a money making, the financial field, the mother is usually studying and learning, and then just grow yourself with that knowledge in a cocoon, as Ren Chen said. And if we go to the output world, now we are kind of doing anything, any kind of activity to make money and then get the money. The wealth spirit is kind of getting the money. And after we get something, because it takes like 2 steps, right? It takes 2 steps from child to wealth. Like if we do something really hard and then finally get something, now then kind of we are kind of being sloppy. That's right. Kind of we kind of suddenly off our guard. Like whenever we get something, whenever we get money, kind of we think everything is kind of achieved, and then suddenly being careless, and then those carelessness produce the official spirit, and that is the image of the tax. Tax. We have to pay tax. Like whenever we get something and achieve something, we have to follow the rules, follow the law. That is one image we can consider after we kind of activate our output word something. Now we have to pay back. That is one explanation. And if we think about mother and father relationship, that's also kind of, I don't want to just minimize our mind, but wealth spirit for the male chart, it could be wife or romantic relationship. And those 2 output world is kind of the relationship between myself and my partner for the male chart. This is just funny explanation, because whenever we do something really good to my partner, and then like for male chart, official spirit is the child. That is a children. Finally my wife or my romantic relationship partner produces the children, and then that become my responsibility as controlling aspect. When we kind of achieve our desire to make love, making love is kind of like output realm, that I do something that I want, and then suddenly there is something that I have to take care of that is kind of controlling me after that. So those friendship, wealth, and official is kind of the relationship among the myself and desire and the responsibility. That is another explanation. I think today I talked too much. I'm catching up now. Thank you. Okay, controlling spirit. Got it. Like a shield. Yeah, shield. In wood. So it was perfect example. That makes sense. Crystal clear. Wow, that's such a good analogy. Thank you. Yeah, that is interesting, and I'm really careful because there's not always male to female or female to male relationship. So I'm really careful to explain those relation. But like male to male or female to female relationship also works in here if we can figure out who is friendship and who is wealth. I don't know much about that, but I certainly believe male to male also there is some kind of friendship role and the wealth spirit role. Someone's desire is much higher than the other to really achieve. Like male and female, these days it's different, because not every time the friendship spirit is achieving wealth. If wealth is really big, this friendship spirit cannot really achieve this wealth. So that is kind of all about the power dynamic. All about the power dynamic. I'm just talking about the image of the 5-element cycle. There was the 10 spirit, and it's already 1 hour. Okay. So yeah, I try to explain 10 spirits because after knowing about 10 spirit, we can say much more things than when we just only know about the five element. And I think the order of studying Batza should be like five element first, and after that 10 spirit, kind of importancy learning Batza, kind of priority. Yeah, five element will be the first, 10 spirits are the second, and after that we can put anything. I like stars, or yeah, there should be killing stars, auspicious stars, stars, and any other theories. These two are almost explaining 70 to 80%, 80 to 90% actually. And the stars will be, some people might disagree, but I think this is like a spices, like seasoning, condiment, or not. I will just cross. Yeah, so let's finish the year of 2022 if we can. If we learn the 10 spirits, now we start consider my daily master versus this year's energy. I said this year's energy is mostly wood base. Wood is dominant, like 60, almost 64% by my calculation. And these 3 months, oh, this is year. Like if we consider this is month aspect, February to March is the triple, not seasonal combination of the wood. February is the tiger, March is rabbit, and April is the dragon. Those three are small cycle of wood season. The wood is dominant throughout February to April. Like we consider this wood as a dominant energy, let's say. And every people, at least five different types of people think differently in this year. Like for wood daily master, the wood is friendship spirit, right? So all wood element, wood daily master people will focusing about growing myself, or just feels already bigger, and feels more confident like that, and then try to do something with that energy. So for wood daily master, friendship is the main key spirit among the 10 spirit. Or it could be like friend, exactly friend, making some people in society to my side, or betrayed by this wood element as well. Those are whole different story, but any kind of friendship spirit related things will be focused on this year. And for fire daily master, same wood year comes, but for fire daily master, it's all about input, which means all about learning, all about studying, all about getting the nutrient substance to myself. That is all about the fire daily master this year. For earth, it's all about official. Wood is official, the element that controls myself. So it is all about following the rules or following something. If that is male, it's about the child, the children aspect. Or if that is female, it's more about the romantic relationship related stuff. So that is the Earth Daily Masters this year. And for metal, it's all about wealth spirit. It could be all related with money making, maybe. And for water, you guys can guess, it's all about output, all about using my stuff, using my resources to go to the output world. So 5 different kinds of people will think differently. So if I know my daily master and then other people's daily masters, we can figure out what they are focusing more on this year. I'm saying output related things because my daily master is not water, But if my daily master is water, I'm talking about output. But this earth guy keep talking about the official spirit, about controlled aspect, or following the rules, or following the kind of laws. And this water guy, the output is usually go against the rule. Not every time, but usually output as a child spirit. It's kind of opposite from the this is input of input, I said. So one people is saying input, one person might say output. So that might be a little bit different. The difference of our opinions come from this. Metal person might keep talking about the financial stuff, wealth spirit, and maybe fire person keep talking about input as a studying. Studying is more important this year, or just generally saying studying is more important. And then metal said, no, wealth is more important, like that. Depending on the daily master, they are focusing, their concentration is on in a different side. If June comes, now from May, the small cycle of fire is beginning. This was the last page of last week. We start from the tiger, rabbit, and dragon as a wood month. So wood become really high. A little bit retreating in April as a dragon. From May through the punishment, or just beginning of the fire energy, now fire energy is increasing, now coming to the June's energy. So this is the June. We can see this tiger is also generating horse. So wood is generating horse. When we first talked about this year's heavenly stem, the water, is all about the last 3 years. What we experienced from last 3 years are now governing our mind and thinking in this year, and then any kind of things coming out from those mind as a wood. So that is the big picture of this year. Any kind of things we experience for last 3 years, any kind of disadvantage or advantage, those are kind of governing our head, our mind and thinking, and the new things are coming out from that mind. That is the birth branch of the spring, the meaning. Those are now generating the fire aspect as well. Before, in February, I lost my February pictures, but February picture is really similar to this, just wood is really dominant because it's all about from water to wood. And fire is about this 8%, but now those wood energy is all generating the fire. So fire become the dominant energy. When I said fire become dominant, you guys start guess what spirit is my fire. Just for example, yeah, for fire, daily master, fire is friendship. For earth, fire is mother. For wood, fire is child. I drew too big. For water, fire is wealth. And for metal, fire is official spirits. From June, maybe it's better to talk in June, but like now all the wood energy become fire. When wood is really strong in February to April, like that, the wood is like going straight up or going to any direction, but it's more like straight moving aspect. So if you force your wood energy, you only see the front, not considering about the side. So you might miss something that other people are talking to you. And fire is now, that straightforward energy is now expanding to the side. Your vision become a little bit more broader. In the first and second live session about the wood would try to enforce its energy, but the water is kind of holding that energy to just say be careful, like that, because the really strong wood energy cannot see other thing and then it can make a mistake. So I usually tend to talk about like just waiting until when fire comes, because it looks more like diverse, right? It can start thinking about the wood, start to consider about the fire and earth, Just water a little bit. Metal is smaller. This looks better picture. Much better picture than this. This just water and wood. And those three are small. In June's energy, at least 3 characters are coexist together. So everything is happening right now as a small cycle of wood start expanding through May to June to July. But Gui Hai 2023 will become water again. No, the 2023 will be the Gui Mao, the rabbit. This is this year, and 2023 will be the rabbit. So water stem with the wood branch. And if the branch is wood, I consider that as a wood. So it's okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's same. The wood energy will be mostly dominant. Right. So June is the most balanced month of 2022. No, I do not mean it is the most balanced, but at least in springtime when wood energy is like prominently dominant, that could be more one-side thinking. And your eyes become narrow. The summertime comes, at least you guys, you can think 2 to 3 different things. But still, for metal and maybe water, mostly metal is suppressed by that fire energy, so I cannot say it is balanced year. That's right, more broad-minded thinking. I might say like this year, wood dominant year, I guess metal month might be more balanced. Like now fire get a little decreased in August. September is also fire. It's not, but at least like these 3 now metal become a little bit balanced picture. November water, wood dominant, not very balanced. December not very balanced. Like month itself, if we look at the month itself, there are partiality there. See, the metal and water are all small here. I don't say this is balanced. But when I look at the other month, like at least 3, the wood, fire, earth become a little bit balanced in July, right? This is considered as a balanced. And in August, at least wood, earth, and metal become balanced. But still, for those 2 elements, that is not balanced. But if your chart needs those energy, your chart can become balanced. Any difference between in-wood tiger ear and e-wood ear, or they are treated as the same wood ear? Do you mean the Mao wood, the rabbit, like this year and next year? We kind of covered that last week. Okay, when tiger comes, those are considered as a wood ear anyway, but the portion of fire might be different. This is the tiger, and this is the wood. The rabbit, tiger versus wood, the rabbit. In rabbit ear, this picture is for this year, the rabbit month, but the ear is not kind of no different. The fire becomes smaller in wood ear, right? The rabbit ear, and there are fire and earth in tiger, and that is from the hidden stem. We covered it last week. In rabbit, there are only wood in the hidden stem, so wood become more dominant. It could be more wood energy pushing ear. In tiger ear, there is a fire, there is earth, and there is wood. So fire and earth has little portion here. So in tiger ear, we kind of consider those 3 aspects as well. We consider earth, and we consider fire, and we consider wood. Those 3 elements is like, should I do this, or should I do that, or should I do this? So it's more like carefulness is the characteristic of the birth branch. And when we start something in any season, there are like several different kinds of elements coming together, and we become a little bit more careful or a little bit more doing multiple things. And when it becomes to the rabbit, like exuberance branch, now there's only one element here. So just wood energies push it through. So next year, like the rabbit year might be more focusing on one stuff, not focusing on multiple things. Maybe mostly we will care about the one kind of direction. But August is monkey month, clash with tiger, so balance means what? So balance means whenever the wood energy is that dominant, that is already not balanced. And clash doesn't mean good or not. This one also I explained last week. And there is a clash in August time, and then clash is just the form of the action. It doesn't really determine that month is good or not. But at least the clash means we can think two different things. We can consider two different things, like monkey mind and also tiger mind. And those two thinking can bring us the diversity of our thinking. I feel like just focusing on one mind, like wood mind, could be imbalance. It's not balanced. And even though the clash comes, if metal comes, that one will make little balance with the wood. You can choose either metal world or either wood world as your next direction. Yeah, thank you. But there's a meaning of the clash. There should be meaning of the clash in August. There should be some kind of clashing related behavior or action or talking. We can have an argument with one person or in my family member, but there could be more positive or going to negative. That's the result. That is the result. And then clash just define the action, the make an argument, or going somewhere, or meeting somebody, doing surgery, like that. It's kind of, it doesn't determine good or bad. It doesn't determine the result. It is all about the effort of the other element that makes some kind of turn the direction of this year to the better place or the worst place. That depends on people's chart. So that is clash. Yeah, there could be confrontation as well. June's energy, the being fire horse, it could be really strong fire. It could be really strong fire and make someone's chart really not in a balanced state, especially if someone has dog. Those three energy create the triple combination of fire. It will create really big fire energy. Those are these three. I always consider this combinational aspect as a really important thing because there's something really happen in this kind of period of time, because what makes the chart really imbalance is the combination, triple combination or seasonal combination, not a clash. So you guys directly can think if fire energy is like this big, oh, maybe the metal become really small. Metal become really small. And it doesn't mean metal person is dead. It just means the 10 spirit of the metal aspect could be decreased. If metal is the mother spirit as input, maybe in this time of year or period, maybe you guys are not very easy to study something. You guys have to deal with this fire first. Or if this fire energy is mother spirit as input, the metal could be the output, is the opposite energy. So that person might focus more on the input source, more studying, and then don't go out for working or something like that. So that determines the tendency of our action and behavior and mind and thinking. So that was horse. I'll just go real quick. In July, the goat comes and the ghost gate happens. This is not very major one. This is one of the star. In this year, whenever the goat day comes, it creates the ghost gate. It just means your mind can be a little bit more sensitive, a little bit more reactive for something. Or if it's a good energy to you, the goat or tiger, those are considered as a yang aspect, not yin. So if someone's chart really needs those wood, fire, yang energy, this ghost gate is working as a really concentrate on something, really focusing on one thing and then doesn't think about anything. That is kind of similar the psychological action that really becomes sensitive with something. In a positive way, concentration. In a negative way, really responsive on something that comes to you. Those are storage branch of the fire summer. Any other question? This is just the six kinds of the ghost gate. Just good to put that as a reference because I found it interesting because there's a pattern like that. And there's a deep meaning in the hidden stems. I'll cover it later. This is not very, very important. Just I become sensitive. You become sensitive. You become more focused on something. Those are everything for today. I wish I could finish all of the month, but I put too much time on 10 spirits. I have to wrap up for today. Next week, because of the time change, I might start at 8 p.m. It is a good time for doing detailed work during the ghost gate time. Oh, that's he deleted the message. Okay. Yeah, Wrench, and it is a good time to be more detailed in some field, but depending on your chart's dominant energy, sometimes it could be concentration, but sometimes it could be like obsession for something. So just be careful. Yep. Thank you, everyone. I will see you next week. All right. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah. See you next time. Bye. Thank you.